Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here, working on some gold rank grind. It's late in the season and we are still in gold, but that's in part because I climbed in the modern league from bronze all the way up to gold, and then I've moved back into the wild for just different reasons. I can't make my mind up, guys, but we're doing some rank grinds. We'll do some analysis of the battles we see here. And if you're new to the channel, we do this kind of semi-regularly because one of the best ways to trigger and provoke interesting conversation around the meta is by actually seeing it unfold. We got a 13 mana match. Rule sets include Fog of War and no neutrals. Okay. Whenever this happens, I low mana, I always think like what sort of single carry monsters could I deploy that would really be meaningful. As you can see, we're pretty pared down on sort of who we have access to. I have like some rented cards that are gonna be ready for a brawl. I don't really feel like I'm equipped for this one, for this specific battle. Nope. This is tough. Tough one. Go like this. And then try and get a little bit cheeky. This may or may not, this is not a lot of heat, but look, I've got some armor. I'm reducing his archery. They both have divine shield, and then I have a healer. This could work. So the opportunity is going to be annoying, but we have 3 armor, so that's going to be helpful. He has a heal, and he's theoretically putting out more damage than I am, right? He's doing 2 damage, 2 damage, 3 damage, plus he has an affliction, and he has an amplify, which I don't think we survive because the amplify alone is too much. Yeah, and he's going to heal through what little damage I do manage to land. No, yeah, there's no way through this. Okay. Keep going. I've talked to you about it already. I've been renting a ton of my cards, and that's why my deck looks interesting. And there's some, some options out here that I don't usually have, right? Like this, some of these, I don't usually own a Phantom of the Abyss. Boom. The Narissa Tridon, even at level 1, is just so significant. Like to be doing 3 damage and 2 speed with 9 hit points at level 1. I could do that, or I could come over here and I could pick Captain's Ghost, which at level 6 is, worse. I mean, worse because of the abilities that are being nerfed due to this rule set. Not generally worse. Usually, in fact, much better. The alternative would be to get rid of maybe like the Narissa and possibly put in like another big meat shield tank. Like, I could put in the Peaceful Giant with 15 hit points instead of the 9 from the Tridon. But I have a ton of hit points, like 15, 10, 9, 10. Like I have a ton of hit points. So we'll go this way. I want more damage output as opposed to more hit point, because I feel I'm satisfying the hit point requirement and simultaneously doing more damage. So he's got the Captain's Ghost, and he's got a good amount of hit points, but I've just got more. Like this is 8 hit points is big, but it's not as big as 14. He's got some armor, but that's irrelevant because I'm not doing any sort of substantial archery or even substantial melee. And we have the speed advantage. Yeah. The other thing I thought about doing was putting the Narisa Tridon in front of the Oceanus, because my Oceanus is faster and therefore more valuable, because he will punch first on any given round and therefore is more valuable than a Tridon, even though the Tridon's dropping a more damage. That's always a debate. You got to decide whether you put, you know, if I put the Tridon first, I'm essentially sacrificing one damage output sooner. But if I put the if I allow the Oceanus to live longer, then I'm getting that consistent early round damage. And it's hard to gauge which direction is like more important and more impactful. You kind of have to decide that for yourself, like across a number of battles. That rule set where there is no monster abilities is that one where I almost always debate that for myself, because you want to be fast. Fast can kill your enemy before they even get the punch, but then you also want to hit hard. And so if you've got a monster that is 4, 5, 6 damage, but they have a 1 speed, is that more valuable than a monster who's super fast and therefore punches first every turn and only has maybe 2 or 3 damage? It's hard to say, isn't it? I think it's case by case, in fact. I haven't done this yet, so let's have a peek at that. If we can just do so much damage with this ooh, and the Seedsmith. But honestly, this is tempting, but because of the scavenge. But at the same time, when you get an archery buff to all of your monsters, you almost just need to put out more monsters. Like the issue, it's not always about, well, the Seedsmith's better than the Highland Archer. It's actually, well, I just need to put as many on the board as possible because they are that good. Look at this guy over here with the Oppressed. That could get nasty too. Problem is, nobody has close range, so I gotta pull back a little bit on that. Maybe we go, and then try this maybe. Alternatively, I could put, this could be interesting, and then, oh man, it's hard to say. If I go 4 mana, what could I do with 4 mana? What I'm doing is I'm thinking about my first 2 positions right now. Shaman could be interesting, but he's just too few hit points. Let's give this a shot. I have a good amount of hit points with the Earth Elemental, the Barking Spider, and then these 2 are really throwaways. The speed's helpful for my Cockatrice, though. If they don't bring magic, oh, he's bringing magic. If he didn't bring magic, this Cockatrice would be really annoying for him to hit, because it's already so evasive, plus the 1 speed over here. I think we are in trouble. Because he's got armor? Yeah, we're in trouble. We don't win this. He's got armor on everybody. He's got self-heal. He's got a good amount of hit points. And that misses. Every miss is absolutely game-breaking. Another miss. Yeah. I missed. This should be dead already. But even if it did die, even if I landed every single shot, I still would be running into trouble with the self-heal from the Gold Dragon. You probably know this if you've been playing for a while, but maybe you don't. The thing about the game design and the battle mechanic, you've got melee, you've got archery, you've got magic, and melee fires last out of the 3. Magic fires first, and then archery. And the thing about magic is that it can't be dodged unless you have certain like phase abilities or something like that. So it's almost always better. But the thing about archery is that it is usually, from like a damage output perspective, assuming they all land, assuming every attack hits, archery often does more damage because the game has been designed where archer monsters usually have higher damage output than magic monsters. How could I show this to you? I almost want to prove it, but I don't know if I can prove it exactly. But I guess if we... If you just look at how many archers have 4 or 5 damage, and how many magic monsters have 4 or 5 damage. you would see a noticeable difference. It's usually the case that if there's going to be an equivalent archer and an equivalent magic monster, you're going to find that the archer does at max 3 and at max 3 or 4, and then the magic does 1 less, 2 or 3. That's like it's very common for the magic to be 1 less in terms of damage output. But then you have to worry about, is the archery even going to land? Because archery is a lot easier to duck than magic is. Let's do 2 more battles. Maybe I'm not properly equipped right now. I might need to cancel some more of my rentals that I'm borrowing out, or for that matter, rent some others that I don't yet have. Let's go. Let's go this way, I think. Maybe not. Tempting, but maybe not. We're here. What's Plato do again? This is funny. I don't even really remember Plato so well. 1 melee, speed, and... Okay. Yeah, let's give this a shot. Let's see. This is tempting from just an opportunity standpoint to attract my opponent. I don't really love this team, to be honest. I have a stun, so I'll bring that. We got to get rid of the Elven Cutthroat as much as I... Well, maybe not, because we do have the Sandworm for the melee, so maybe we want a second melee monster. I think so. Yep. Yep, we're doing it. We're going for it. The cripple with the scatter shot, archery, 5 hit points, as opposed to the Elven Cutthroat who has 3. If you brought an opportunity monster, my Cutthroat would have been in trouble. That's why that's part of the reason why I went Bloodmaker and not Elven Cutthroat. Are we going to win this? He's got an affliction. He's got a lot of heals. That's not really... He has a ton of heals. They're both healers. He's got heals. He's got affliction. He's got poison. He's got blast damage. If I don't kind of stun out, I could be in trouble, because a stun would be big because we get piercing double damage over here. This is entirely irrelevant. That's a problem. I think I'm going to have to get lucky to win this, where we're at. I don't think I do win this. If this doesn't land, if the Goblin Tower just keeps missing, it's possible. It's really big that we finished that one before things got out of control. I really want to kill this Goblin Tower. Yep, that's huge. Eesh. Oh, that's too bad the Sandworm didn't get one more shot. No, we're done. No, he's got too much. There's really nothing I could do. Even my armor is not going to help at all. Okay, one more. $25.33 rank points. Gold, like firmly in gold 2. Come over here to magic. Oh, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Oceanus before the prismatic, because the Oceanus is the void and the force field. I think we bring Nerissa out there. And we might even do Sea Monster in the back lines, but this is probably more damage dealing. Ooh. Of course. But of course. Hard magic. Yeah, this will be the last match. Guys, there's so much going on in Splinterlands right now. We've got We've got the Rooney coming. We've got all these different proposals for like DEC. They're changing how DEC is going to be released into the wild through modifying, or at least proposing modifications over the liquidity pools. That one sounds interesting to me from what little I've seen. Because frankly, I don't want to see as much DEC being printed. I don't really know. I mean, we were printing, according to the data I heard, it's like 30 million a month or something, 40 million a month. Now this is going to get rid of 90% of that. So that can't, I think that's good for both DEC, but also the game. And that should imply positives for SPS also. So we'll see. But some of those other proposals I'm not a fan of. And I'm trying to work out a conversation with myself and a couple other community members, YouTube content creators, to try and go through those proposals in a bit more detail. So if you want to see more conversation around that, maybe stick around for that one. That'll be, I guess, soon-ish. We'll see. And then what do we got here? My opponent's doing what I'm doing, but not as good. So I think we win, right? He's got level 1s and 2s and 1s. And I've got all he's got, but better. Even my summoner. So yeah, we win this one. I honestly think I might one day buy back Rule of the Sea. I used to own this card. I got it for free through playing it. And it's so good. But after we moved away from beta, I decided I wasn't going to keep my Alric, which was a +1 magic summoner. And therefore, I don't want to keep my Rule of the Sea because, you know, it's part of that whole magic play. I'll just have to build a different water deck and lean into a different angle. And I think I've done well with, for instance, Kalia and my water team has still been successful, but Rule of the Sea is so classic. It's like the first card I was ever really, really excited about within this game. It's part of the reason I actually became excited about Splinterlands, to the point where I believed it was going to be something in many years to come. And now here we are 3.5 years later, and I've realized some real value, in part because of what that triggered in me, how cool I thought that card was, how much value I thought it added to the blue team, and therefore earning opportunity I thought it created for a player. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to buy one of those one of these days. As we accumulate DEC significantly from our rentals, one day we can probably figure that out. But guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks so much for your time and attention. I hope you have an amazing day. God bless.